rev up your Lexus. Hello everybody, my name is Martin and I run Marty Motoring, and today I'm going to be showing you my 2007 Lexus IS 350. Now I've owned this car for about 2 years and I've done many modifications to it and documented that on my channel. So Lexus was created by Toyota in the late 1980s and proved to be a success as a luxury brand with its quality craftsmanship, advanced engineering, and untouchable reliability. In the year 2000, North America got the Lexus IS 300, which was known for its 6-cylinder 2JZ engine, which was a non-turbo variant of what the Toyota Supra had. And it was also known just for its sporty looks and Toyota reliability in the form of a sporty luxury car. Fast forward 6 years later, North America got the Lexus IS 250 and 350 in the year 2006. This time, instead of an inline engine, they got the V6 engine. The IS 250 has a 2.5 liter V6 producing 204 horsepower with rear-wheel drive and all-wheel drive options. You could actually get it in a manual in the rear-wheel drive variants. Now those are a little bit more rare, but it was one of the only Lexus manual cars besides the SC and previous IS. The 350 in IS 350 stands for the 3.5 liter V6 engine, pumping out 306 horsepower at the crank, mated to a 6-speed automatic transmission with paddle shifters. Now the IS 350 only came in automatic and rear-wheel drive when it was first released. Lexus achieved 306 horsepower at the crank by having a compression ratio of 11.8 to 1. Along with that high compression ratio, this 2GR FSE V6 engine features a timing chain instead of a timing belt, and it has direct end port injection, which just speaks to the advanced engineering of Lexus and the low maintenance as well. So this looks like a small luxury car, but is it really a sports sedan? This car does do 0 to 60 in under 5 seconds, which is pretty quick. Also, the V6 engine does sound pretty good with the F-Sport exhaust I have on it. Personally, I think this car handles great too from the factory. I've actually lowered it 1.5 inches on H&R springs and it handles even better now. In terms of performance, this car is not crazy fast, but it is very quick for what it is, and it predates the Lexus ISF, which is well known for its 5.0 V8 engine and 8-speed transmission. Where this is kind of its baby brother, where it has the 6-cylinder engine with the 6-speed transmission. Now there were more of these IS 350s made than the ISF, which makes it a little easier to get your hands on. For a luxury sports sedan with 0 to 60 under 5 seconds and Toyota reliability, this is a good bang for your buck. Speaking about reliability, I've had the car for about 2 years and I've replaced the alternator, battery, done oil changes, and everything else was an upgrade like wheels, suspension, and so on. The car has 166,000 miles on it, which surprises some people because it doesn't look like it would have that much. When I bought the car about 2 years ago, the factory HID headlights were actually yellowed from the inside no matter what I tried to do, so I actually replaced them with these VIP motos. I've replaced the front bumper due to rock chips, and it stayed pretty clean so far. I've changed the grille to the ISF style mesh grille, and I think it just looks a lot cleaner, and I've also gotten rid of the chrome up front with a black surround. I also have a hard pipe intake and a factory F-Sport filter for better airflow. These cars come with staggered wheels from the factory for the rear-wheel drive versions. I kept the 18-inch dimensions for my aftermarket wheels, but just went a little bit wider in the front and rear. I upgraded my rotors with slotted rotors and the brake pads to ceramic for better stopping. Moving to the rear, I have some cosmetic things like a trunk lip and spoiler, as well as a license plate to let people know what kind of car this actually is. I have the Lexus F-Sport Axleback, and it sounds great, as you've heard. The taillights are aftermarket, and pretty much they make the car look like the newer generation IS. All in all, this car is a nice little luxury sports sedan for the cost and its age, and I've really enjoyed owning it. On the road, this car handles great, and I really enjoy taking it on the back roads. A lot of people ask me about the paddle shifters, and they do work well. I've driven many manual cars, but I actually don't mind driving this automatic transmission just put it in drive and go. In the interior, you get all the standard stuff, plus 2007 navigation that I haven't updated, heated and ventilated cooled seats, and an awesome sounding audio system, 14 speaker. Also, I've connected a Bluetooth adapter into the aux jack, and that sounds pretty good as well. The back seats don't have much room, which is why I always joke that this is a 4-door 2-seater. There's just not a whole lot of room for a standard size adult, especially somebody like me being 6'1". I've also upgraded the shift knob to an F-Sport carbon fiber and leather stitched shift knob. Since this car is a luxury package, it comes with memory seats. On your center display, you have climate, your audio settings, your info is your typical stuff, like you can log your maintenance in here, as well as telephone for phone calls. Like I said, the map is outdated, but it does work for anything that's been there before 2007. Now, I've tried to update this with CDs I got on eBay, and it didn't work out too well. So I'm just going to leave it how it is and use my phone. Another notable feature on this car, one that I don't really use but is pretty cool, is the rear shade. So you just hit the button up front, and on the back window the rear shade deploys. And lastly, I like the push to start button and that the steering wheel comes out to the last position I had it in. And I actually switched the oil over to full synthetic high mileage Mobil 1, and it's been working great and very quiet and smooth operation. Thanks for watching, and thanks Scotty for having me on. In 2017, I had a Toyota Sequoia just as a second vehicle to one of my Subarus that I had. I was just driving around, and I wanted something a little more sporty, and I just was used to the Subaru brand after having so many of those cars. So I went and bought a used 2013 Subaru BRZ, and yeah, that's where it all went downhill. The car was fun, it just had its issues, and it wasn't really fast or anything. With a budget in mind for a used vehicle and what I would get on trade-in with the BRZ, I started looking around at other Lexus and Toyota vehicles just because I had such good success with my Toyota Sequoia. I landed on Lexus because I trusted Toyota, but I kind of wanted some of these sport and luxury features that Lexus offers. The GS and the LS, around the same price range and year, they just didn't seem to have the sporty looks. They were bigger cars. I wanted something a little smaller and nimble, and that's what the IS is. Now, the Lexus IS is just a sport sedan, and obviously the 250 isn't the quickest car. 350 is a little quicker and it's decent, and the ISF, being the fastest, is what most people want, but those are a little more rare. On the other end of it, I didn't want just a basic IS 250 because they only have like 204 horsepower, and that's already what I was coming from with the BRZ. And I did a little research online and saw that was like a 7 to 8 seconds 0 to 60, and I was like, it'd be cool to have something a little faster, because I think the BRZ at the time was like a 6.2. Well, I found the Lexus IS 350 was quoted at like 4.8, 5 seconds. Some people say 5.2. And I was like, wow, that seems pretty quick. Let me see if I can find one of these online. So I landed on the IS 350 and I just had to go check it out. It was perfect. 6-speed automatic transmission with paddle shifters, rear wheel drive, sport sedan. I wanted to get one originally in white, but I couldn't find it for hundreds of miles. The only one for a decent price in my area was Obsidian Black, and it was only like 2 miles away from my work. So I checked it out after work one day, test drove it, and was not disappointed. I was surprised immediately how much technology was in the car, how responsive it was, and even how comfortable it was, which I kind of expected being Lexus, but being a sports car, I didn't really know what to expect at the same time. After 2 test drives, I was sold. The car was really fun. It was really cool. It was just a matter if I could, kind of get the loan to pay off that BRZ and just move on from that chapter and start with this Lexus. Immediately, I noticed the door panels were a little scarred, and I had to work with a dealer on price and my trade-in and everything like that. But about a week later, I went in and I got the car, and haven't looked back since. The best part about it was the dealer didn't even know that it had 306 horsepower. I told them after I bought the car. I was like, yeah, it has 306 horsepower. It's like, really? That car? I guess they thought it was an IS 250. The car had been repainted, but I didn't notice this when I got the car. The battery died the day I got it after I left the dealer, and the alternator needed replaced 2 weeks later, and I've made videos on that. Just with that history. But other than that, the car's been great. Those are issues you can run into when you buy from a used car dealer. Now, a lot of people ask me, don't I wish I had the ISF? Do I regret not buying the ISF? And kinda, it would be nice to have. The V8's awesome, the 8-speed's awesome. I'd like one maybe one day, but I really just enjoy my car and the stuff I'm doing to it. I do like that V6 sound. I do like the torque it gives off. It is a little bit lighter and nimbler of a car, where the F is very like beefy, and you can feel it's a little heavier. The steering's tighter and everything. My car is a good like in-between daily, the IS 350. 250 is great. You just want a basic ride. You don't care about any kind of acceleration. Just a nice little luxury car. IS 250. IS 350 meets that in between, where you want a little bit of sport, a little bit of luxury. You want a nice little quick daily. Perfect. ISF is like, you want a nice weekend driver that you can also daily, but you want something a little quicker and nicer and more exclusive, performance oriented. That's the ISF. I didn't really know much about this car before I started researching it, right before I bought it. I never saw 350s around, and if I did, I missed them because I thought they were IS 250s. I didn't really know about the IS 350. Has direct and port injection. It has a timing chain. It had all these like features that other cars just didn't have in that era. Months later, my brother was looking at getting a brand new Subaru STI, and I convinced him to go look at this used ISF we found about 2 hours away. And he went and drove it, test drove it, and was like, "This is awesome. This is one I want to get." He originally drove my car and was like, "Oh, this is not going to be fun," and he loved it. He's driven my car, I've driven that. It's pretty fun. I've done a few videos and reviews on it. I do have access to an ISF, it's just not mine. With the Lexus, I could use Toyota parts, I could work on it myself. There was so much more to learn, and once I bought the car, I started this last 2-year journey of learning, modding, and just doing everything I can with the car and making videos as well. On my journey, the more I learn, the more I like Lexus, the more I like my car. I started off with the wrong wheels and tires that the dealership gave, a repainted car. It had like green tint. Then I thought it was, hey, it's fine, it's stock, I'll slowly mod it over time. But where I have the car now is exactly where I want it. You can look back through my previous videos. I do mods, maintenance, everything like that on the car. Kind of just document it all on this channel. It's been really cool to make all the videos about this car and see that other people are interested in it as well. If you like this video and enjoyed the content, give this video a thumbs up. If it's your first time on Marty Motoring, hit that subscribe button, support the channel. I really appreciate it. Follow me on Instagram at Marty Motoring and keep up with the latest updates. And as always, leave a little rubber on the road.